Okay, award fans, let's talk BAFTA. It's this weekend. It's the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, I guess, or if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's the equivalent of the British Oscars, of course. They share 500 voters, the two award groups, and very often BAFTA predicts the Oscars. So let's predict BAFTA. We're doing it here at Gold Derby. We have zillions of people piping in, and I'm Tom O'Neill of Gold Derby. We're here with Susan Wloszczyna, Chris Beachum, and Daniel Montgomery. And you first, Chris. According to the experts, let's go with them first. We have 7 predicting at Gold Derby right now, and 5 say the favorite will win, and 2 say Roma. What say you?
I do think it's the favorite here. I think it might wind up winning a ton of BAFTA awards. It just feels like the type of thing they normally choose.
It's British.
It's British. Even Yorgos, the director, I was watching him on a round table. He actually moved from Greece to Britain several years ago. He said because just the sheer amount of talent available below the line, above the line, and the access to studio space and all of that made him move to England. So he's sort of an honorary Brit at this point after all.
Yeah, but Dunkirk didn't win Best Picture at BAFTA last year. So why do we just have to automatically assume the British movie?
Well, remember Three Billboards was one British film and Best Picture last year. So it was another, it was a co-British production itself.
Right, but it was a movie about the Deep South.
Which, and by the way, you said they often predict. They've hurt me so bad in recent years, including Three Billboards last year. I thought, well, okay, I'm basically 50-50 with Shape of Water in my mind. So if BAFTA goes with Three Billboards, then I'm going to go with Three Billboards. And nope.
Woo, off the cliff we went. I went with you. Susan, why should we presume the favorite is out front at BAFTA? And is Roma a real factor there?
Didn't it get the most nominations? Like 12? Or something.
Yeah, the favorite has the most with 12.
There's one thing. And I mean, it's about royalty. You can't get more British than that. So, but no, I just think it has a flavor to it that despite the director being Greek, I think he captured something I haven't seen in this kind of film, and that makes it very unique. And that's why Mary Queen of Scots isn't in here right now. So.
I like Mary Queen. It wasn't great, but it was
no. I'm not saying it's a bad film. It's more traditional.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the favorite is artistically bold. It's shocking in plot twists and just the little details that you know are probably true of life in the 18th century, where there are 2 scenes where men just don't like what women say and push them over, and you think, whoa. And when you see it, you think, you know what? I'll bet.
And then the women kick them in the crotch. So there you
go. But Roma, if it's all about Roma, this awards season, then why don't we just assume Roma will win there? If there's a secret connection, forget the British thing. Dunkirk didn't win. It doesn't always go to the British movie.
But wasn't Darkest Hour out too?
It's true too. Yeah.
So they got split, you see, and then
maybe they just don't like British movies just because they're British.
No. I'll just stick with the countrymen going.
Well, that's a good reason, Susan. I need a reason.
Well, I've been split back and forth between these two for so long. I switched to Roma, and I switched back to the favorite. I might switch back to Roma. It's so difficult because, Tom, as you say, it doesn't always go to the British film. And when it has gone to the British film, it's usually the British film that's like right there for the Oscar, if not a front runner, then close to the front runner, like Three Billboards was, The King's Speech. But they'll go American or otherwise. When there's another front runner like Argo won Best Picture at the BAFTAs, and it's not always about the Britishness of it. So I'm a little worried a bit about the favorite. But then I look at my predictions elsewhere, and I see I'm predicting the favorite for actress, supporting actress, screenplay, British film, costume design. I'm like, is it going to win all those and not win Best Picture? It could. Gravity is an example of that, but And Gravity's another example of a film that won Best British Film also.
It did? Gravity did? Oh my God!
But lost Best Picture to 12 Years a Slave, which which had a British director. So it's very, very hard to figure out how they're going to go. I might switch back to Roma. I think it's really, really neck and neck. The thing that I'm wary about with Roma is that not only did they not nominate Marina, they didn't nominate Yalitza. So it feels like if they liked it as much as the Oscars do, they would have at least nominated Yalitza, which sort of gives me pause. But I still think Roma could win without the acting nominations.
Chris?
Yeah, for the reasons Daniel was saying, the only real British film here, unlike last year, what is the favorite? And I do have it winning so many. I just can't imagine it winning that many and not winning pictures. So I'll keep it simple like that.
Okay. Well, then for Best Director, it is unanimous among our experts. 7, everybody for Alfonso. If Yorgos is his movie is sweeping all these other categories, why can't he win?
He could. I think I probably have him second. I'd have to double check, but yeah, I think that's the only path to an upset. But I think Roma is close for Best Picture, but I feel like even if Roma doesn't win Best Picture, they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to give him Best Director. That's they love that film so much, BAFTAs, and that's going to be their big chance to move for that one.
And look,
Susan, Rami Malek is way ahead among our experts. 5, and only 1 says Christian Bale, and he's Welsh. He's from the UK. So, what do you think?
Well, I think they probably relate more to Freddie Mercury than Dick Cheney, for one thing.
So do we all.
I don't know if it means as much to them, and they probably weren't paying
something.
attention the way we were during that time. But I think it. Even though he's not British, he is playing a character that means a lot to people over there, maybe even more than here. So it's made a ton of money overseas, and I think, I see him winning this here easier than winning.
The thing about Rami and Mahershala Ali, both of them, is that they fulfill the that idea we often tout at Gold Derby as pundits of the hug. There's an emotional component to Freddie Mercury's role. It's powerful. You really feel it. The songs take you there. And then Rami, nails it. And then with Green Book, it's Mahershala Ali as more of his characters revealed and his heartache is shared with us. You just think, oh, the poor guy. And then again, there's an emotional component of the embrace from the audience that I think helps these actors, even though their movies are in trouble.
Right.
With Rami too, it almost feels like to me, if he wins this, those voters are giving the award to Freddie Mercury along with Rami Malek.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. And I know they don't want to give an award to Dick Cheney. Not that Christian Bale can't win. I think it's a really, really tight race. We've got an article going up either tomorrow or Thursday from our writer, Robert Pius. I didn't realize this till Robert pointed it out to me yesterday. Christian Bale's never won a BAFTA. That year where he won a Globe, a SAG, Critics' Choice, Oscar, everything for The Fighter, he did not win BAFTA. He was beaten by Jeffrey Rush in The King's Speech. And then he's had exactly the same Oscar nominations as BAFTA nominations. So this is his 4th. And those, even, I don't care what the award show is, those kind of things start seeping into the minds of voters over time of, oh, well, we've never given Christian Bale an award. So I think it's a tighter race than the number of people that are predicting Rami would show. But I do think it's Rami. I think that movie was big worldwide. It was big in America, but it was massive in Europe. So I think that it's going to get the benefit of that.
And it's a wonderful movie, despite what the critics say, that they're just wrong. Best Actress. Susan, you have something you want to pile on there? I'm always defending Bohemian Rhapsody, and it just infuriates the rest of you.
No, I just like you to declare anyone with an opinion opposite yours.
Yes, as being invalid. And have you noticed a pattern there? It's a very effective tool in braggadocious pundits like ourselves.
Okay, this might be the one that Glenn Close loses.
Oh my gosh! And you, of all people, say that.
I know, but I don't think she needs it. It's such a groundswell already. But right now I have Olivia up there. Because the movie obviously has backing for days. The wife, I don't know if they saw the movie, but you know, they love her. You know, she is the movie, and so, but there's not a lot of other groundswell.
Well, I've got Glenn Close. It feels like we're now in sweep mode, and I think they'll go against their own person when they sense a sweep coming.
Well,
the other thing that I warned everybody about weeks ago, maybe even back into December, I don't think we fully appreciate this, but in England and Great Britain, Olivia Colman is far more known as a TV actress and a theater actress than film. They don't really know her as a film actress. I don't know that hurts her in voting, but I'm just saying she's not some legend of the silver screen over in England. She's hardly done any movies.
But she's a legend
just
of
a damn good actress.
She's a legend of the BAFTAs. She's won 3 times.
Oh, that can hurt you though if they consider you to be a TV person.
She's been in some great TV shows. Even I've
Rami
watched
Malek
them.
TV.
I think what hurts Glenn Close at the BAFTAs is that she doesn't have the narrative at the BAFTAs that she does at the Oscars.
Right.
And Chris is right about the momentum. The sweet momentum could carry her through. But she's only been nominated once before for Dangerous Liaisons at the BAFTAs. And so, even so, she is overdue at the BAFTAs too. But I don't think it's not about the BAFTAs for no one is wondering. It's like when Glenn Close will finally win her BAFTA. So I feel like
I like this narrative. I like keep going.
so I feel like if the favorite is their favorite, the film that they're just in love with, and Olivia Colman is an actress who the British Academy has loved before. She's a British institution, even if mostly a TV institution. I feel like that tips the scales for Olivia Colman. I do think it's one of those two. But
I didn't mean to say I was even implying that a lot of people would feel that way. I just wanted to point it out that over there, she's not as known as a film. We don't know her that well over here, other than TV as well. But what I was going to say is the only reason I know this is I was already editing Robert's item from earlier. They can get in sweep modes with a movie. That year of King's Speech, not only did Jeffrey Rush win, but Colin Firth obviously won, and Helena Bonham Carter. So that movie took 3 out of 4 acting categories.
Wow.
And here we could be talking about 2 acting categories.
Let's talk about supporting actor here, where Richard E. Grant is way out front, and Mahershala Ali is in second place, unlike the flipped ranking at the Oscars of our experts' predictions. Why does Grant get this vast support over there, and then it flips over here?
Well, the British thing again. I think he's been on film there since late '80s, so 30 years. And when we interviewed him 2 or 3 months ago, he was talking. We asked him. I just said, what of all the films you've done, what do people most want to talk to you about? And he started listing them off. And I didn't realize over there he's more of an icon than he is anywhere else in the world. I think that's why a lot of people are predicting him. Just like Christian Bale, though, Mahershala's got a little bit of an IOU here. He did not win BAFTA there 2 years ago. It was Dev Patel in Lion. So they may want to. We saw the Globes and who else did we see? The Globes. I guess I was thinking about BAFTA. Already kind of doing IOU with Mahershala. Not that he didn't deserve it, but that had to be on their minds that they had not given him a Golden Globe before.
Yeah, I think this is the category where I'm predicting the momentum instead of Best Actress. I think as much as Richard E. Grant is the British favorite, he's long overdue this recognition. I don't know that there's as much of a groundswell around Can You Ever Forgive Me as there is for Green Book, and so I think Mahershala's momentum might just carry him over to a win here. So I think I'm predicting him here. I forget. But it's one of those two. But I think
I don't even know what I'm predicting.
We all have to do a scrub down here in the next couple of days.
I know after we've talked each other into things here.
Look at Green Book and Best Picture here. I don't think any of us thought Green Book necessarily was going to translate to BAFTA voters and put it into Best Picture, but there it is. And
Vigo was in Lord of the Rings and all that stuff, so they.
I know, but it's in Best Picture. That's a good sign for Mahershala.
All right.
Yeah. They only have 5. They don't have 8 like the Oscars.
Chris, you said earlier, and it's a statement we would all agree with, but this absolutely what I'm about to state absolutely contradicts the assumption, which is you could ask, let's say 20 people, who was your favorite in The Favorite, Rachel Weisz or Emma Stone? Take Olivia Colman out of it for a minute. In other words, the 2 contenders for supporting actress, and it's split. But the way you phrased it before we came on air here was, who do you love? What performance do you love? And that might be certainly Emma Stone because it's the empathetic performance. But Rachel Weisz, when I saw the movie, she's the whole first hour of it, of course. Right. She dominates everything. She has a physical transformation before the film is over, and she is just diabolically hilarious. I don't understand why anyone would vote for, quite frankly, no offense, Emma Stone. I don't understand why anyone would vote for you over Rachel Weisz. And it's proven out here in the predictions for supporting actors at BAFTA by our experts. Everybody goes for Rachel Weisz. So why is there such a clear choice here when we say that they're equal?
Well, I think for me, that was an obvious decision when I was making my prediction. Rachel's the homegrown girl, the British actress. This is the only place that I would split the 2 and go, one's got an advantage over another, because neither one has won anything anywhere else really over each other. Emma Stone's the American playing the Brit. I don't think they always love that, an American coming in and taking a British role away. But
and for that to happen twice in 1 year with
BAFTA 2 years ago. Rachel we get this IOU factor over and over and over again at the BAFTAs. That year she won the Globe, the SAG, and the Oscar for Constant Gardener. She did not win BAFTA. She's never won BAFTA.
Oh, wow.
This is only her second nomination. Yeah. So I think a combination of all of that helps Rachel a lot.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they put her in lead for Constant Gardener, so she missed for that. She was nominated for lead.
But Emma, did she win BAFTA for La La Land?
Emma Stone did.
Yeah. So I'm a Sloan if I said something else. But anyway, but it seems like she just won yesterday, and she's younger than Rachel. So, it's like, I think you think back, I mean, if she didn't even win for Constant Gardener, that's ridiculous. So
I have a very funny Rachel Weisz story about Gold Derby in our early days and Constant Gardener. This is so funny. That's right. Or no, let me just tell this here, and then let's do Best British Film. Whoever wants to pile on there. But here's our Rachel Weisz story. It was really hilarious. In the days before these kind of live webcam things here, we would recruit celebrities to do chats with us the old-fashioned way, just a chat room, right? And so she did one with us, and I had her on the phone. And so she's telling me her responses, and I'm typing. And oh yeah, and somebody in the chat rooms asks a question, so we're letting them lead the discussion, and I'm there just relaying it to her and then typing the answers. And we had some real pervert in there in the chat room, just calling her every horrendous, vile, a pornographic name, and it was and we couldn't block him. I had people in there trying to block, and we couldn't. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry. We could stop this now." She goes, "No, keep going." She goes, "This is the most fun I've had in years. Keep going." And so it was so out of control. And I kept saying to her on the phone, "Look, if this guy, we can't get rid of him, and he's just an assassin, gone completely psycho here." She said, "Tom, you don't understand. My life isn't as exciting as you might think it is. You're going to give me something to dine out on for the next 3 weeks. Keep going. And then I saw her at the Gotham Awards after that, and I said, and she was with her then husband, Darren Aronofsky. And I just said, well, thank you for being such a good sport about that. It was hilarious. Anyway, that's our Rachel Weisz. Who best British film? What happens, Chris? You're usually good about nailing this.
You know, I'm so glad we're bringing this one up. I know we don't have time for others. I think in any year, Bohemian Rhapsody will win this in a cakewalk, even though the favorite probably wins Best Picture. Because they often don't choose this. Last year was an anomaly, 3 Billboards winning both. Normally they'll go with Best British as sort of a second, an extra prize for something that's not going to win Best Picture. But here's the conundrum for the voters. Nowhere else this entire award season has Bryan Singer been on a ballot, because Best British Film includes the director and the producers as the actual nominees. He would get a BAFTA, and he's listed on the ballot. So I don't know. What do you? I'm open to. I wanted to hear what your conversation about this, because if I was a BAFTA voter, that would make me switch to the favorite so fast.
I want to stick up for Stan and Ollie, though. That is a really good movie, and I don't think it took off here very much because it came out like at the end of December. Yeah, but I Stan Laurel.
But that's not going to win, right?
I don't know. Don't count it out. It's the most British film I saw this year.
Daniel,
got in. That's a good sign.
The whole thing is set in England when they went on tour in their later days.
I know,
and it's beautifully done, and it's wonderfully acted, and I cannot, it's sort of like Green Book for British people, because it's these opposite personalities, but they somehow make a whole. So I'm just saying, I'm even thinking, and the makeup is so good on John C. Reilly that it could win makeup even, Yeah.
I think it's
not winning Best
the favorite. I can't imagine why.
Okay, I have the favorite on top. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it going,
She's giving us her personal feelings. Okay. That's
fine. I don't even think this is close. I think this is going to be the favorite in a walk. And I actually, not just because of the Bryan Singer thing, but the Bryan Singer thing makes it a lot like if Bohemian Rhapsody wins Best British Film, that's going to overshadow literally anything else that happens at the BAFTAs this year. They don't want that. No one in the cast wants to recognize Bryan Singer for it, because he was fired before they finished filming because he was so unprofessional on set. Bohemian Rhapsody does not want that award. I honestly think that's an easy win for the favorite, and I think what that complicates for me is not so much Best British Film, but if they know they're going to give Best British Film to the favorite, does that help Roma in Best Pictures? That's what
probably give foreign language to Roma, so it doesn't help you and that if you're having that argument in your head.
Okay, so Green Book wins what?
No, yeah, I think the favorite is the easiest prediction for me. I'd be shocked if they gave it to Bohemian Rhapsody. I really would. With Bryan
everyone's
Singer.
been shocked every time Bohemian Rhapsody wins another top award.
But this is the only time. This is the only time they would actually give an award to Bryan Singer, and it's after the Atlantic article came out detailing.
I'm not saying he would show up. His name will be on the screen, though.
His name will be on the screen. He will be a BAFTA winner. They will be awarding him for this movie. I don't think they want that. I really don't think they want that. And again, I don't think anyone in the cast and crew wants to have to deal with that. Especially going into the Oscars. Have people reminded about Bryan Singer.
Rami wins the actor award, and all they want to talk about is Bryan Singer backstage because he just won a BAFTA too.
Yeah,
I know. They just keep beating that storyline to death. But I lost my train of thought. Any final thoughts here? Anybody?
I think it's going to be a fun show. I really like the nominees overall, and the actress, I can't think of her name, is back hosting again. I thought she did
Joanna Lumley.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job last year. And the thing, when we're all talking, none of you care about this, but I already am thinking about it a year ahead. Next year, because of the compact schedule with the Oscars being on the 9th of February, the BAFTA Awards will be the same day as the Super Bowl. So what do I do?
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, let's leave the final word to Daniel Montgomery. What do you think, or what have you heard, Lady Gaga's going to do this weekend? Because she's got a couple of award shows to go to, doesn't she?
Well, I mean, I know we haven't heard anything official about whether she's going to the Grammys, which are also on the February 10th on Sunday night, the same night as the BAFTAs. It's often the case that they're the same night, but it's not often the case that a top nominee at both awards they have in common. I think a smart thing for her to do might be to go to BAFTA and then beam into the Grammys via satellite. And,
there you go.
Do a performance like that. But she could also just come to the Grammys because she's probably not winning at the BAFTAs. So
they don't have a song. They don't have a song category.
Yeah, they don't even have a best song
Susan, you
category.
can hit the mute button. Hit the mute button, Susan.
Okay.
Just hang up on them. They don't.
I'm hoping my husband answers it. It's Glenn Close saying she's winning. So.
Lady Gaga heard we were talking about her. Daniel and I had this conversation 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I think BAFTAs are so much earlier in the day for us in Los Angeles. It would be easy for her and Bradley to go to BAFTA and then beam in by satellite to the Grammys. If they rotate on the Grammys, if this happened to be a year where it was in New York, they might possibly have been able to do both in person. But there's just no way they can get from London to Los Angeles in time unless they made sure that their segment was like the last thing on the Grammys or something like that. But
they can beam in via satellite from the plane.
Well, the nice thing is Grammys don't necessarily announce everybody that's performing, but BAFTA probably around tomorrow always has a press release of every presenter as well as every nominee who's attending, even the below the line people. So we'll know at least if she's going to BAFTA based off of their press release probably around tomorrow.
Okay, my guess is she goes. It's so special for her.
Well, I told Daniel if she could only do one, and the Grammys were totally resistant to beaming in. You mentioned it earlier, Tom. BAFTA has enough of a percentage of voters in common. Wouldn't you want to go over and at least mingle with them?
Yes, that's what.
Talk to them at the parties and because you are gunning for actress and song at the Oscars, and Grammys don't help you at all on any Oscar voters.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be interesting though? Bradley Cooper gets a start on TV with Alias, nominated for a Tony, nominated for 7 Oscars. The first EGOT thing he crosses off is going to be a Grammy. Because he's got a very good shot at best pop duo or group, and record of the year. But pop duo or group is not safe necessarily, but stronger bet.
I would be thrilled if I was him to know I got the hardest one out of the way first for an actor.
And he didn't even have to record an audiobook.
That's right.
Oh, best spoken word we're talking about.
And he can probably win next year too, because the Shallow is eligible this year, nominated this year, but the entire Stars Born soundtrack will be nominated next year. And not only is he an artist on it, so he'd be nominated if it gets like record or album of the year, but I'm sure he's a producer of it, so he'd win best compilation for visual media, like Don Cheadle did for the.
He might have 3 or 4 Grammys by this time next year.
And no Oscars. Oh,
well, I think there is a remote but real chance that Bradley could win Best Actor. I think not being nominated for director kind of focuses and concentrates his potential strength, and that's a crowded race where we could make scenarios for 2 other of the nominees winning. Hold out some hope, Bradley. That's what this is all about. It's winning and hope, and the whole backstory of A Star Is Born is the life that its actors are leading now. So that said, make your predictions at Gold Derby. Prove us wrong. Let's nail down BAFTA so that we have a clearer view of what's going to happen at those rascally Oscars. Thanks.